one of the chairs that happened to be directly across from Dr. DeWinter. "Now, Dr. Campbell, the reason you were summoned here today was to first thank you for your bravery as well as your loyalty in reporting the drug abuse of one of your fellow interns. I know that wasn't an easy decision to make, and I want to assure you that you did the right thing, and you are appreciated for doing so. We were hoping we would be able to handle this matter rather quietly, but it seems that won't be the case." Jacqueline nodded, trying to follow what Dr. Dudley was saying, but her close proximity to Dr. DeWinter was distracting her. Was that heat she felt radiating off the man? She wouldn't be surprised given how drawn she was to him. It was an attraction she'd constantly tried to downplay, thanks to the hospital's no fraternization policy regarding managers and those reporting to them. "The Matthews family has threatened the hospital with a lawsuit." Jacqueline blinked. Lawsuit? That one word pulled her attention back to Dr. Dudley. "I don't understand, sir." "And neither do we, Dr. Campbell. Thanks to you reporting to Dr. DeWinter what you knew regarding Dr. Matthews and our own proof of certain events, we'd hoped the matter could be handled discreetly. However, we've been notified that the Matthews family has decided to sue the hospital." Jacqueline raised a brow. "On what grounds?" "That we reacted in the extreme and that Dr. Matthews was wrongfully terminated." Jacqueline frowned. How can they say that? Although she'd asked the question, in a way she already knew the answer. The Matthewses just happened to be one of the richest families not only in Alexandria, but in all of Virginia. It was a known fact that they were Hopewell's biggest benefactors. They even had a wing named after them. Their son Terrence had also been an intern. Jacqueline hated being the reason for Terrence's termination, but she felt she'd done the right thing when she'd witnessed his attempting to steal drugs from the hospital pharmacy more than once. "The hospital feels we had sufficient grounds to release him, and although we're faced with a lawsuit as well as the withdrawal of the Matthewses' support to the hospital, we'll deal with it," Dr. Dudley said assuringly. He then glanced over at Camille. "As public relations supervisor, it'll be your job, Miss Hunter, to make sure the hospital maintains its stellar reputation through all of this. I can just imagine the type of image the Matthewses will try painting us with." Camille nodded, her expression sober. "I will." Dr. Dudley smiled at Camille, a smile that made Jacqueline's flesh crawl. She wondered if she was the only one who'd caught on to it. She glanced over at Dr. DeWinter, and their gazes met, and not for the first time she thought she felt something emitting from the dark eyes holding hers. Knowing she was just imagining things, she drew in a deep breath and shifted her attention back to Dr. Dudley, as a question suddenly burned in her mind. "Now that there's a lawsuit pending, does that mean I will be named as the person who was the whistleblower?" Dr. Dudley finished for her. "You won't have that to worry about. Your name will be held in the strictest confidence and protected by hospital policy. It's been proven that Dr. Matthews does indeed have a drug problem, and it will be up to the Matthews family to prove otherwise." Jacqueline was glad to hear that. She knew that once the news broke, everyone would wonder who had snitched on Terrence, because he was well-liked and had a promising future. It hadn't taken her long to figure him out, and she'd been able to read the signs mainly because her older brother had had the same problem before he'd gotten help. Now he was married with a little girl and volunteered a lot of his time trying to help others kick the habit that had nearly destroyed him 8 years ago. And because of the sensitive nature of the matter and the Matthews family's association with this facility, we've decided to hire someone to handle the suit that is not one of our regular hospital attorneys. In other words, we've decided to bring in the big guns. "But we can assure you again, Dr. Campbell, that your confidentiality won't be compromised," Dr. DeWinter interjected. Jacqueline nodded while trying to ignore the warm, husky tone of his voice that seemed to caress every inch of her skin. She glanced over at him, met his gaze, felt her heart rate quicken.